Friends, we are in the middle of a little break. We just finished season 8. We are really excited about sharing with you what we've done with season 8 and all the things that have been happening with that. And I wanted just to, come in and tell you guys about something that I'm going to be doing, something new for the month of December. It's not necessarily a season, but it's a little bit of like a mini episode series. So I'm going to be talking about something that's been in my mind and something that's been very important. And just recently, I just finished a book that Amber Tamblyn posted and she shared, and it's called Listening in the Dark: Women Reclaiming the Power of Intuition. And intuition is a topic that I think a lot of us have discussed in the past in some ways, how, my gut told me this, or my intuition, or my instinct. And so something that I wanted to really bring back is that sense of intuition, and sometimes how women ignore it, or put it aside because they want something so bad to happen for them, that when that gut feeling comes into their body, they push it to a side, and sometimes to the detriment of themselves and whatever else that's going on in their life. So, for a while, I've been wanting to do something where we can talk about intuition and how intuition has helped us. So intuition has been super important for me in my life, and in that inner voice that I have. I'm really good about understanding it and listening to it and reaching in there and giving myself that time to really process if my gut is saying something to me, or my feelings or my intuition, something doesn't feel right. I'm really stopped to listen to it. But there was a time in my life when I really ignored it. So what this new little series is going to be about, it's going to be different people sharing when their intuition helped them through something, and how it was part of their story, or part of a situation they were a part of, something that came up and their intuition told them, that they needed to, I don't know, listen, that they needed to listen to it. Many, many, many times we are told as young girls that, just do what you need to do and stop listening to your gut. Sometimes they say, oh, follow along, or don't, let it bother you, or it's really not as important as you think it is. And we do know that it's important. We do know that intuition is trying to tell us something. It's our inner voice trying to warn us and give us something to think about. So that book, it's called Listening in the Dark. It's a great book. It really got me thinking about, let's share our stories, and let's share a moment when we all have listened to our intuition and it helped us in one way or another. So for me, it's really been about, tapping into it, especially now as I'm older. I definitely listen to it. I don't put it aside anymore. I don't disregard it anymore. And if my intuition and my gut instinct is saying something, I honestly listen to it. So I'm going to tell you a story of when I didn't listen to my intuition and where that led me. And a few years ago, I was creating a podcast besides this one, something different, with another person. And my intuition told me that that wasn't the right thing to do. My intuition kind of told me, or my gut instinct told me, that this person really wasn't the best person for me. But there was so much love bombing coming from that person. She would say things like, I can't wait for us to work together. I admire you so much. I love everything that you stand for. I love your values. I love your marriage. I love how everything is for you. I can't wait for us to work together. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. And so she did a lot of love bombing. And this was back in 2018. 2018 and 2019, when all of these things were kind of coming up. And so I was looking for opportunities to share myself and to share a little bit about what I do right here on the podcast. And so she insisted we do it together. She insisted we do events together. She insisted on creating things together and building a business. We even went so far as to creating a business plan and a business thing. And so when that happened, it kind of made me think, okay, this doesn't feel right. something does not feel right to me, but because there was so much love bombing that I disregarded it. And I tend to be very, analytical and logical. And I said, what if this time I just go with my heart and go with my, with what's going on around me right now? Obviously, I wasn't going with my gut instinct, which said, this person is coming on a little too strong. This person wants a little bit more from you than you're willing to give. This person might want more of your time, wants to be more involved in your life than you prefer. So there were a lot of questions that were coming up and were popping up in my stomach. And that God kept saying, and every time I would go home after meeting with her and talking to her and doing all these plans, it was just like, gosh, I just don't feel right about it. I feel like I need to get out of it. But she was just very headstrong. She said the right things. She kissed a lot and just said, "Oh, you're everything I'm hoping for. I've been wanting to partner up with someone, and you're just that person. You have everything. You have the brains, you have the looks, you have the connections, and then I'll come in and I'll help you. I'm good with PR. I'm really good with marketing. I'm really, we're going to be a great team." And you guys know that when you work in teams, when you work in partnerships, like, it doesn't always work out very well unless you're both super, super aligned and the work ethic is the same. Like, work ethic has to be super, super the same, because I have a very, very, very big work ethic, and that's kind of how I was raised. And so for me, punctuality is so important. She was never on time. For me was, follow up with our guests and making them feel welcome. That wasn't something that she would do at all. I don't have bad habits. My habits are very about, being super professional and coming in, doing my thing, being prepared. There was no preparation going on in her part. So a lot of those things were just kept popping up. But then again, I ignored that instinct. I ignored that gut instinct. And I said, let me just pursue. Anyways, it was a disaster. It ended up really bad. It ended up where we stopped talking. I just completely deleted that person out of my life. I disconnected from them. I initially wanted to ghost that person, but I just didn't have the balls to ghost them. So I just, cut it all off and said, I'm just not ready for this next step. I don't want to do this. This is not something I'm really interested in. And surprisingly, she took it well. I thought it would be a little bit harder for her to take it well. But anyways, that was when I didn't listen to my intuition. And my intuition has always been right on target. And so one story that I do tell you is, when I had the intuition of following through with this purchase for a house for my parents, it just felt right. And we didn't have the money, we didn't have the resources to buy the house, and we didn't have the ability to do it, but it told me, my intuition and my gut feeling told me to pursue it, to find someone to help us finance the house. First, to give us some time, spoke to the seller. So those are things where I listened to my intuition, and it followed me to, 20, 25 years of my parents having a really nice house where they were able to live happy. But you know what? So many of us just ignore it because, someone outside of us tells us to ignore it, or somebody tells us that it's really not that big of a deal, that it's not that important. And I am here to tell you that it is time that we reclaim that gut instinct and that inner voice, and that we push through the fear that comes from trusting the gut. I'm always asking myself those difficult questions, the things that I may not always have the answers to, but definitely trusting that my gut and that feeling that you get a motherly instinct sometimes, or you get a wifely instinct, or whatever it is, a female instinct. I know men get it as well, but I think for us women, I think we get it in a more deeper, more intense way, and outside forces will tend to tear it down and create some sort of doubt behind it. So in the next few episodes that I'm going to be presenting to you for December, we are talking a little bit about the intuition and trusting it. And so the topic for what we're going to be working on is going to be intuition, but here it is. My intuition knows her shit. And here's my story. So I'm going to be having a few friends share their stories share how intuition has helped them and how it's led them to something greater and bigger than they ever thought. And definitely focusing on listening to ourselves for 2023. And that's my goal, is to definitely listen to what my gut is saying and definitely listen to what I'm feeling deep, deep inside, and not allowing people to bring in that doubt, not allowing those people to bring in that sense of denial. I think some people will deny it and say, oh, you're just overthinking it. Oh, you're just, too much. And so many people will say, I wish I would have listened to my intuition. I wish I would have listened to my gut instinct because it was right and it was correct when I needed it to be correct. So, guys, this is it. Follow it along. It's for December. And I'm going to be talking a little bit more about a program that I'm starting for my podcast. It is a community program, by the way. It's something that I'm really excited about because it is going to be a community for all of you. It doesn't matter who you are. And you all know that I'm a traveler, so my program and it's called the Vibes Global Community. And so you're going to be part of the podcast as an insider. And so you're going to be a supporter, you're going to be a patron through that. And so that is a deal that I'm running for the month of December. And so included in that is you're going to have your Intuition Knows Her Shit t-shirt. You're going to get a signed book by me because I have a book that I wrote about fathers and daughters. And so if you know somebody who wants to have, that communication or that sense of connection with their kids, it's a great book. You will also be able to talk to me one-on-one every month for 30 minutes. Monthly one-on-one chat with me. I will also give you a shout out on the social media. And by the way, the monthly one-on-one chats are going to be about accountability. How are we going to hold each other accountable? I'm going to hold you accountable for something that you want to accomplish and a goal that you have. Additionally, just because this is the first time I'm doing this and because I'm really excited, I'm going to be adding on exclusive by invite only events just for you guys, for those insiders that want to join. I'm also throwing in a free complimentary course, which, by the way, the course that I'm throwing in is a travel prep checklist, which is great. It's about 20 pages, and it's amazing. It's a little ebook that I'm throwing in there for you guys. Plus, now, guys, I'm like super generous, and I think people say I'm being overly generous, but I don't care because this is a first launch, and I'm going to go all the way out. I'm throwing in a welcome travel gift box, and if you guys know, I just recently got back from France, so I brought some really great gift items that I'm going to be including in that travel box. And by the way, guys, that community was $65 to join. It's a monthly community. It's a subscription. You pay every month for $65. However, because I'm launching it and I'm doing just a December launch and a December sale, I guess it's a Christmas sale maybe. I don't know if you celebrate Christmas or not. It doesn't matter. It's a December sale. It's December special. It is going to be for $35 a month. And if you get on the board, you will be a $35 member, because in January, this particular special, this particular membership will be going back up to its original value of $65. So follow the link in the podcast episode description, and you will get all of that stuff. It's going to be so fucking amazing. You're not going to regret it. By the way, all of this is only $35 a month. Only $35 a month. If you are ready to invest in yourself and you're ready to achieve more for 2023, join. As you all know, I have a repertoire of organizations that I belong to. I am a business owner. I have been a teacher. I'm a podcaster. I've been a mentor. Just recently, my husband and I have been working together on real estate investments. So I have a plethora of things that I can share. And I'm a traveler, so if you have questions about any of that. But anyways, for me, it is about sharing all the education that I've gathered through so many years, 40 plus years, of education, of knowledge, of reading books. I'll be recommending things for y'all. All of my insiders will get also photography. They will also be invited to do travel, events with me. Those are things that are going to be in the works and that are going to be coming. So definitely do not hesitate to do that. If you want to know more about that, go to my website. And then also go to the part on my website at tbbbyalicia.com, and you'll go down and you'll see Inspire and the Vibes Global Insider. You'll hit the join button, and that's going to take you straight to the cell. It's a Jet Setter cell, and you're going to see all of that I just talked about and what it's included. It's going to be back to $65 in January. So if you want to join now. This is the best time for it. I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy this. And if you have a story to share where your intuition did something for you and helped you in some way, let me know. I would love to hear it, and I would love to have you part of the show, part of all of what we're doing, and your story to be shared inside this podcast. Guys, our podcast is growing. I am super proud to announce that we are very close to reaching the 10,000 downloads, guys. 10,000 downloads in 2.5 years. We are so freaking close. So become a patron and become a part of that success. When you become a part of that patron or that subscription as a member, you will be a part of our success, of this success, and I will be a part of your success. Some of you have small businesses, some of you have side hustles, family things that you're doing, fundraisers, you probably lead a nonprofit, whatever it is. Join the membership. We will hold each other accountable. Like I said, 30 minutes every month is included in this membership. So don't hesitate. Let me know how I can help you. And thank you so much for listening, guys. We are almost 10,000 downloads. Y'all, that's big. Thank you for your time. And I can't wait to hear from you. Love you.